everyone. Excuse me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So I just thought I would do another video about what's going on Twitter X today as things heat up and the PR onslaught is becoming more and more relentless leading up to the Australia trip. And of course, Harry and Meghan returning to the royal family in the summer. And so for people who are not on Twitter, I just wanted to share with you what I see in my particular algorithmic echo chamber. Just so you know what's going on as far as from what I can see here. So the big news today is some releases of Tom Bower's Betrayal book that's coming out. Another book about Harry and Meghan. You know, it's amazing to me how many books are written about these two and they've done absolutely nothing except destroy our freedom of speech and our way of life and attack us and destroy Western civilization. And they get book after book and they contribute nothing to society or humanity at all except destroying it. They are just like Bill Gates humanitarians. They're all about depopulating. But anyhow, his book is coming out. Excerpts were in the Times in London. Meghan and Harry spoke out and they're furious. They're calling Tom Bower obsessed. He's just obsessed with them. And, oh, the Times is such liars and blah, blah, blah. So they're upset. We're going to look at this today at the end. I'll do a reading about it. But everybody, one of the big stories coming out today is that there was, all about how Griftous is just a PR stunt for Harry and Meghan. And there was apparently a wheelchair basketball game between Nigeria and America. And the Nigerians were legitimately injured. You know, they have missing legs and whatnot. And we still haven't seen a picture of Thomas Markle Sr.'s missing leg, just FYI. But the American team, they said, won the game, and then at the end of the game, they all stood up out of their wheelchair. They got up and walked away, so none of them were actually wheelchair bound. And so this is one of the scandals that Tom Bower, who was there at Invictus and was harassed by the Sussex squad, can attest to as an eyewitness. So that's the big story. One of the big stories coming out today about that. Another big story. Now, this Paula Manatovich tweeted about a court case here. I don't have access to court cases, but this is a woman named Shaquilla Williams who is suing Beyonce Knowles, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Onika Tanya or Nicki Minaj, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Kim Kardashian, Tyler Perry, Jeffrey Epstein, and John Jane Doe's. And this is stamped July 2nd, 2025. And it says, I name Rock Nation, Beyonce, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and others as part of a Hollywood-centered enterprise profiting from this abuse through a lawsuit. I seek not only a relief for personal harm I've endured, but also permanent public record of how government power, corporate technology, celebrity influence, and institutional medicine can be fused together in a silent weapon. So according to her testimony here, or her court documents, she said that her life has been systematically dismantled by a powerful coordinated network, celebrities, corporations, hospitals, government actors. She said that she believes that she was placed on a government watch list after being poisoned in an Ohio hospital. That placement triggered a series of devastating abuses, identity theft, surveillance, creative and financial exploitation, and trafficking. My likeness has been monetized by some of the world's most powerful entertainment figures. My daughter, now 18, is also being targeted. So whether this is legitimate or not, I don't know. I mean, is this a Looney Tunes or is this legit? I don't know. I have to wait and see. Hi, Lydia. How are you? Oh, you can't stay. Okay. How to say hello? Yeah, great to see you. Yeah. Good to see you. I know I got to get on earlier. I try. And then I came across this cartoon that I used as a cover by Soccer Man World or at Truth Nell. Excellent picture. You know, I love artwork. I try to do my best. And this was perfect. I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that? From Meghan's 17-minute hospital PR extravaganza at the LA hospital, taking advantage of seriously ill children to pose for pictures. And loom over them, just like this picture. Meghan was like looming over them with her black mask on, like, hello. And these children had no idea who she was. And this particular girl that's being depicted looked terrified of her. She had her hands in front of her in a defensive posture. Really horrific stuff that Meghan, and abusing Americans and American children and American parents who have lost children, how Harry and Meghan exploit them and use them to push their anti-Western censorship Child Safety Act to bring in more tyranny that TRG covered, what Letitia James is pushing now in New York in her latest video. Really evil, evil stuff. Really evil, evil woman. Anyways, and then, okay, so I thought I'd read this. I know it might be a bit boring, but just bear with me about Meghan's updated bio, her and Harry's bio. This is what Harry and Meghan are putting as their biography. And they're just all lies that they get away with while they're accusing Tom Bower and us of lying. Says Meghan, she calls herself Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. It's like, no, you're Meghan Markle. You will always be Meghan Markle. That's just that. She's calling herself a feminist, Miss Feminist, that abuses women left and right. Oh my goodness, how many examples do we have of her? Never mind taking down female YouTubers who are trying to make a living here, as well as so many other examples of her hurting women and girls with her anti-Western, supporting political agendas here. Wow. It's all a cover. We know that. It's all a lie. And she calls herself a champion of human rights as she takes away our rights. It's like, yeah, I'm a champion of human rights as soon as I censor you and deplatform you. Then we'll talk about your human rights that I decide you can have. Oh, and gender equity. See, when she says feminism, she means in my opinion, she's supporting transgenders, people who cosplay women. And that's why gender equity is communism. That's a communist manifestation. That's what communism is all about, equity, bringing everybody down to the same level. And so that's what Meghan wants. Her lifelong advocacy, lifelong, for women and girls. Oh my goodness. Yeah, how about Catherine? How do you treat Princess Catherine? Yeah, Meghan, she's all for women and girls. And using and abusing them to push her political agendas. She says it remains a constant thread. I think they meant threat in her humanitarian, i.e. anti-human, and business ventures. She says she claims that she's been named one of the most influential women in the world in rankings. Yeah, no, she's the most hated woman in the world in rankings. And she includes Time Magazine, which is, of course, Chia owned. Time Magazine's most influential people, she claims, in a negative way, in my opinion. The Financial Times, 25. Is that true? Yeah, I don't think so. Possibly. I don't remember that one. Most influential woman, Variety, Power, and Women. Well, she does abuse her power after she married a prince from the UK, the most powerful family, royal family in the world. And she brings up British Vogue. It's like, with what's his name that you put yourself, made a horrible cover, and you put Jacinda Ardern and Greta Thunberg and all a bunch of globalist, talking heads. That Vogue cover she did. What a joke. It says Meghan is a mother. Oh, is she? Prove it. Where's the kids? Never see them. Never gave birth to nothing. Her belly bump going up and down. Faking pregnancies. Where did those children come from? We're still wondering. But she's calling herself a mother and a wife. And she calls herself an entrepreneur after she was handed Spotify deals from Obama and Netflix deals from Obama. But she's an entrepreneur, with her liquidy products that she white labeled from China that she pushes. That's what her calling herself an entrepreneur and humanitarian. Oh my goodness. Not like Bill Gates, a humanitarian out to kill humanity, in my opinion. She's been named one of the most influential women in the world. And I'm repeating what I said already. It says her advocacy work on resilience, which is a key phrase in the UN Charter for Agenda 2030. Their definition of resilience. You have to watch, Z Media or something. She's But resilience is about Agenda 2030. It's about bringing down the people to peasant level, bringing the peasants down even further to dust. And equality, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, she wants you all equally poor and have nothing and be happy. And compassion through action. That's another Marxist communist type phrase that they use to push their New World Order agenda, this phrasing here. She claims she's been recognized for this alongside her hubby, Prince Hairball, with the NAACP President's Award, that she created a new award just so her and Harry can give it to their Marxist communist anti-American friends, as well as the Robert F. Kennedy Ripple of Hope. Remember that Ripple of Hope award she got for fighting white supremacy, or was it institutional racism, whatever the communist Marxist term. Basically, she was fighting for the New World Order. That's what that was about, destroying capitalism and our way of life. So it says, Meghan remains a dedicated champion of mental health and the rights of women and girls. Mental health? You mean destroying mental health by deplatforming people and abusing people, like all the people that worked for her, the Sussex Survivors Group, and many others. Wow, she's such a liar. This whole thing is such a lie. It's like unbelievable. And then we'll get to Harry. Harry actually brags about being on the Aspen Institute as they push out all these lies. She claims to be born and raised, you all know this, Southern California. And she claims she went to Immaculate Heart. And she claimed to graduate, or she doesn't say, she moved to Chicago to attend Northwestern University. She doesn't say graduated, where she claims to have double majored in theater and international relations. And she claims to have interned at the U.S. Embassy in Buenos Aires, but we all know she exaggerated that, if she even did it. Hi, Kathy Lowry. How are you? I'm just looking through Harry and Meghan's biographies of lies here and exaggerations, pushing their global agenda here. It says after graduation, she turned her focus to the entertainment industry. Yeah, and failed miserably. Securing a lead role. No, it wasn't a lead role. She was like, what, 15th on the call sheet of a hit series, which was not a hit series. No one ever heard of it. I suspect Suits didn't even happen. It was just created afterwards to make people think it happened, because everything's so fake around that Suits thing. That whole thing seems like a scam as well. Definitely not a hit. No one ever heard of it. Between filming, Meghan traveled to Rwanda, India, and others to support humanitarian missions. Yeah, she did photo ops there to pretend to be Princess Diana to try to lure in Harry, or to make it seem like she was like her. And it says she served key roles in the UN Women's Agenda. Yeah, because she's pushing the UN 2030 agenda. Resilience. That is definitely a UN Agenda 2030 phrase. Then we get to Prince Harry. He claims to be a father, but who's the mother if you're a father? Because we know Meghan didn't give birth to nothing. And he claims to be a military veteran, mental health advocate, causing mental health issues. He's just pushing his app, his Better Up app, made by an abusive company with a horrendous track record on Glassdoors, and just wants to push to get your data with his app that he copied the name from someone else. And he claims to be an environmentalist. Yeah, he's pushing climate change for the globalists. Says he's dedicated his adult life to advancing causes he is passionate about. Yeah, the New World Order. And that advanced permanent change for people and places. Now it goes into it, says he served 10 years in the British Armed Forces, including 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. Yeah, Bunker Harry never left the bunker, was never in danger, and was surrounded by security the entire time. Still bragging about that. And get this, he as a forward air controller and an Apache helicopter pilot. So now he's claiming to be a pilot, but didn't his school, Sandhurst, or wherever he went to military school, didn't they confirm he was never a pilot? He was a co-pilot, meaning he didn't fly, or a gunner. So he's not even a pilot. He can't pilot anything on his own, and yet he keeps lying and saying he's a pilot. And he goes on at the end of this, and he's like, oh, I'm an Aspen Institution for misinformation. Meanwhile, he's spreading lies and misinformation. It says after completing his military service, he doesn't mention getting all of his military patronages taken away from him by the Queen for being a traitor. It says after that, he founded Invictus Games. Now, he didn't found it. His brother did, along with him and Obama's idea, I think. a platform for wounded, injured, sick personnel to engage in sport to aid their rehabilitation. Oh, you mean to aid your PR? You and Meghan's PR platform there, and that's all you ever use it for. Wow, so sickness. The international event is globally celebrated. No, it's not. People are rejecting it as a display of resilience, community, and athleticism that has won acclaim for its impact, celebrating those that serve, which is not Harry and Meghan. Harry, and he wants to create more. He wants to make more and more injured soldiers with all his Ukraine war that he supports. Prince Harry also joined a Walking with the Wounded trek in the North Pole. Oh, that's where his Todger allegedly froze, right? And the South Pole across Britain, 2015. Harry also founded patron number of global charities, and including Travelist, his travel app where he wants to keep track of your carbon credits so they can charge you. They don't want you to travel. Sentabale, which we all know is a scam, probably used for money laundering, taking land from the native people. Then they mentioned Well Child and Scotty's Little Soldiers. Again, more PR platforms for Harry to pose with sick children, just like Meghan did at the Los Angeles hospital. Harry and Meghan are always posing with sick children, try to make it look like they're doing good. Meghan only spent 17 minutes with those kids. 17 minutes, popped in and out, took a bunch of pictures and left. And that's what Harry does with Scotty's Little Soldiers and Well Child. And he actually had the gall to mention African parks, which are multiple articles out there, Daily Mail, elsewhere, about the human rights abuses there with people being raped and beaten and killed and pushed off their land by Harry's African parks. And that's with that Chris Coons, the congressman, I believe, that TRG points out, still going on. He actually brags about it in his biography here. And Harry's the president of it, and he did absolutely nothing, completely silent. It's one of the many things Harry and Meghan never commented on. And in 2021, he was Chief Impact Officer at Better Up, again, the app that he copied the name from another more legitimate app where he steals people's data about their mental health and abuses the people that work there, according to Glassdoor's interviews or testimonies that they gave. And he calls it a world-class coaching platform. Ha! What a joke. It's AI generated, I think, mainly. They're working on that. What a joke. I mean, I think they did have some good, legitimate people, and then they abused the hell out of them, and they left, and they wrote about it in Glassdoor. I think that's what happened, but it's definitely not world-class. It's a little app that sucks and steals your data is all it is. But he claims it allows you to achieve peak mental fitness. Yeah, what would Harry know about mental fitness? He doesn't have it. Oh, and then he actually brags about being on the Aspen Institute Commission on Information Disorder. Now, he's claiming he served on it, but he was actually a chief impact officer there. And that's the censorship group from Colorado that Katie Couric and Chris Krebs and Sophia Noble all on, where they censored the Hunter Biden laptop and censored and deplatformed us. And that's their censorship they're establishing and still working on bringing into America and trying to destroy our First Amendment. And Harry claims it brought together critical voices across public, private, and civil society landscape to respond to the challenges created by growing disinformation. Yeah, like Harry and Meghan's biographies. Didn't do anything but to platform Harry and Meghan's critics is all it did, and any Biden-Obama critics and Clinton critics. It says he co-founded Archwell Philanthropies. Yeah, just changed the name from his last company that he's worried about the IRS coming after and the crimes he's committed. Yeah, along with his wife, served communities in need. He hasn't served anybody except himself. He claims Archwell Philanthropies, Harry and Meghan are committed to their mission. Yeah, their mission of censorship and destroying your way of life and putting you in a digital prison with child safety, which is nothing but digital ID to track and trace you and make you take away your anonymity online so they can arrest you and debank you if you say anything negative about Harry and Meghan. That's the end game there. Harry and Meghan, they say they hold that charitable work should not simply be to hand out, but rather handheld. Yeah, so they don't want to hand out anything because they have their hands out taking our tax money through USAID and other tax money for Ingriftus, but they want to hold your hand. Yeah, they want to imprison you, put you in a concentration camp like they did during COVID in Australia. They want to do that to everybody. They want to make sure you can't do anything that they can't do. They want to handcuff you. The couple also created Archwell Productions to produce content programming that informs, elevates, and inspires. Yeah, actually, the exact opposite. They want to spread their lie. They don't want to inform. They want to spread their lies, and they want to elevate themselves and demonetize and deplatform you, and they want to demoralize you rather than inspire you, as they keep going on this. And then Harry claims to be a best-selling author of Spare, the Book of Lies, the memoir of his life. Memoir means how he remembers it, not the truth. And that's how he got away with lying so much in it, where he claimed to have been compassionate, vulnerable, and unflinchingly honest. That, oh my God, what a lie that is, huh? He lied about everything in that book. Just like Meghan and her books. At the time, with the Finding Freedom with Scobie that Meghan worked with, but then she lied about it in court, and then she had to apologize and admit that she did work with Scobie on that book. So here we go. At the time of the release, he's still going on about it. This book that was ghostwritten by someone else. Harry didn't write anything. He said Spare was So Harry's claiming to get the award for a best-selling book that he had nothing to do with writing. Don't you love that? It was a ghostwriter who wrote it. Spare was a publishing industry's fastest-selling nonfiction book. Yeah, people wanted to read it to see what lies he told and expose it. Saying that it sold 1.4 million. It's interesting. He's bragging about selling 1 million copies of his book. I noticed that Meghan on her biography doesn't talk about her children's book, The Bench, which we all know she bought tens of thousands of copies to put her on a best-selling list. But she doesn't mention that in her biography, which I find interesting because she used to always brag about that. I guess she's moving on from children's book writing. It brings her too much to comparison to Fergie, which everybody compares her to now, and know that they're on a downward trajectory. Yeah. So there's the biographies of lies that Harry and Meghan are using right now. Just thought you might find that, I don't know. Just exposing the lies they tell about everything they do. And the court case. I think that's it. It's something else. Just that. So the book and all of that is the story about the Nigerian and the U.S. team that wasn't even didn't even need wheelchairs. They were perfectly able-bodied, battling another team that was legitimately disabled. So all a PR stunt. You had to be there to see it because, of course, it doesn't get publicity because only Harry and Meghan get publicity at Invictus. So that's the big stories going on today. Apparently, this book is only on sale in the UK. Amazon, you can't get it in the US. It says it'll be a while. So there's that. Oops, I keep doing the wrong window there. And then, all right, so this is unrelated, but I came across it and found it interesting. And this is about Farrah Fawcett's unrecognizable Nepo son. This came out March 11th, 2026. So apparently Farrah Fawcett, beautiful, blonde, famous woman, just like Princess Diana. And she has a ginger son, who's exactly Harry's age. He's 41. Now, look at the similarities between these two. This is creepy. So it said Farrah Fawcett's unrecognizable Nepo baby son seen with devil horn face tattoos after allegedly stabbing actor in the head. Read all the horrifying details. So I don't know what drugs this guy was on, but apparently, just like Harry, he's a drug addict. And he stabbed this actor and did serious injuries to him. Look at his face and tell me that does not look exactly like Prince Harry. Like they're doppelgangers, right? I mean, look at that. Can you see it all? Does that not look like Prince Harry? I saw this. I'm like, wait a minute. He's 41, Redmond O'Neal, 41. He's the same age as Harry. He's in LA. He lives in LA. He has a mother who is a famous blonde woman. She passed away from cancer, I think, in 2008, 2009. But he's like the same kind of story as Harry. Just this angry ginger son of a famous woman who's known for being beautiful, blonde, famous. And he ends up drug-addled, taking drugs like Prince Harry. But in his case, he ended up murdering someone, so now he's going to prison. Same age as Harry. And there he is in his younger days with his mother, Farrah Fawcett, and his father, actor Ryan O'Neal. Really sad. This guy had everything going for him, like Harry. Wealthy, he's got fame, he's got connections through his parents. I mean, he could have been anything in Hollywood, really, right? I mean, he had all these advantages, just like Prince Harry. And yet, instead of taking advantage of being the son of this famous blonde woman, the star, like Princess Diana, there he is left. This picture was taken in 2001. I mean, he had everything going for him that he could have utilized and made a success of himself, but instead he got into drugs and feeling sorry for himself. And you know what? The end here, when they question him about, like, why, how did you turn out like this? He blamed his father. He blamed his father, just like Prince Harry. Yeah. So they talk about what the victim went through, describing the attack. There's him in his younger days. There he is with his father. There is his first arrest. Okay, so he was first arrested in 2008, and his mother died like a few months later. And there he is with his father and his lawyers. So that's 2008. That's a young picture, 1991, Farrah Fawcett and Ryan O'Neal. There's a younger picture of him, 2018 mugshot. And the victim suffered traumatic brain injury, suffers from epilepsy, can't work again. He said his mother died in June 2009 at 62 after battling anal cancer when O'Neal was 24 years old. So his mother died. And that led after that to him abusing drugs more and murdering. So again, the idea of this beautiful blonde famous mother, she dies, and that he goes off the rails with drugs and ends up killing people. Kind of like Harry's African Parks and Harry's globalist agenda, killing mass numbers of humanity, in my opinion, with their death shots. The same kind of idea, just on different scales, Yeah, so I just thought that he claims, okay, right here, in a 2018 jail interview with Radar Online, he blamed not drugs as the problem, but the psychological trauma of his entire life, just like Prince Harry. He says, my whole life experience have affected me the most, alleging his father kicked him out and he had been living on the streets. So his father kicked him out. That's what he blames, not the drugs. And it's exactly like Prince Harry, who blamed that his father cut him off, didn't stop paying him, allegedly giving him an allowance, allegedly. We've heard that from Oprah interview and whatnot. So I just found these two stories so eerily similar, just on different scales of money and power here. But really, this is the Prince Harry story, very closely. The Prince Harry story. So I have no doubt the two of them could have gone hit the road together and boo-hoo-hooed on stage about their beautiful blonde mothers dying and how it messed up their lives, and that's why they do drugs and mental health and blah, blah, blah. But I just found it so eerie how similar these two stories are, and how the mentally ill, tragic gingers of beautiful blonde mothers. And it seems to be, it's like, how is this happening at the same time? And they're the exact same age. They're both 41. And I just couldn't get over this picture when I first saw it. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Just want to go to this picture right here. It screams Prince Harry, like they're doppelgangers or something. I just couldn't believe it, that the similarities, right? I know. I just thought that was interesting. I know it's an aside. It's not really related directly, but it's a weird echoing here of these two crazy gingers' lives. And one last thing I just want to put, which is kind of related to mental health. I just happened to come across this too. In Australia, bosses will be slapped with on-the-spot fine if they break this new workplace rule and what you need to know. So now, thinking that Harry and Meghan are going to Australia, they push the mental health with the World Health Organization, which is all about, just at the end of the day, censoring people and, punishing conservatives and critics. are nationalists, those dangerous nationalists, Christian white nationalists. Well, now they've got a new thing. This is an example of how they're using mental health to go after conservatives, in my opinion. And so here, this came out March 12th, 2026. It says a new type of workplace inspector can issue on-the-spot fines. So they're always about fining the employers, right? The government during COVID, the government fined the employers if they didn't get all their employees vaccinated. There was like a $40,000 fine for each person if the company didn't force their employees to get vaccinated. And now they're doing that same thing again here. This is how the workaround of how the government gets people, oppressed and fired and debanked, around them. But so this new rule in the workplace that employers will be fined if they have a negative impact on their workers' mental health. So now there's a new DEI type of person, inspector, who's going to go in and they're going to determine, well, the employer is affecting these people's mental health, so they need to be fined now. And employers are going to go out of their way to avoid being fined. So it says the New South Wales state government has announced a massive $127 million investment over 4 years to address psychosocial hazards in companies from June 2025. These are issues that negatively impact workers' mental health, such as, so these are the mental health issues: poor support, low job control, bullying, or harassment. So as part of the campaign, Safe Works New South Wales introduced 51 new inspectors, 20 of whom will be focused on psychosocial incidents. So you see how they're using mental health to implement more communist, Marxist, globalist agendas here. Because we all know about bullying and harassment. Well, what's bullying and harassment? Oh, maybe it's micro facial expressions, that they find you being racist, right? And I'm sure, yeah. And if they find out through your digital ID that you were at work when you said something mean about Meghan Markle, maybe that'd be part of it. Yeah. Specialist staff will be able to issue employers with on-the-spot fines. They will also ensure companies have a mental health contact and investigate any relevant incidents. Reported by Safe Work. Isn't that the name of Meghan's clothing company? Wasn't it Safe Works or something like that? Something along that line. Meghan's clothing, when she was in London, when she made those ugly clothes that were just, they were just oversupplied clothes, excess that were distributed. Like she didn't design any clothes. She just took some clothes that were not selling and said, "Oh, here's my new fashion line." The role will allow inspectors to organize resources for employers to prevent psychological injury. So mental health is really being used as a weapon against us by the globalists and to push people. And what I think this is going to do is that lefties who love to claim that they're victims of these conservatives, right-wingers, not accepting that a man's a woman, or looked at them the wrong way with their micro expressions. They're going to say, this is abuse. I've been abused. I'm being abused. And they'll call this Safe Works place and say, I'm being bullied. I'm being abused. And then that person will get fired because the employer doesn't want to get fined. So this I think is a way more purging of, Christian white nationalists. Yeah. So the psychosocial, to make a safer and healthier work environment. Yeah, to purge out more conservatives. So this is going to get people, not going to have jobs. It's always financial. The globalists always come after you financially, get you deplatformed, get you fired, like cancel culture, how they're getting people fired. Like Meghan Markle got Piers Morgan fired, and the other guy, what was his name again? Jeremy, I want to say Corbyn, but it's not Corbyn. Jeremy, whatever his name was, the guy that had the farm. Well, and so many other people, her and the Sussex squad got fired. They always want to get you fired and debanked. They always want to hit you in the money, because they have plenty of money and they know you're going to suffer and die without money. And that's what they want. They want you to have nothing and to live on the streets and become homeless. And then maybe they'll come visit you and give you a pat on the head for their humanitarian work. Really evil stuff. They want you to have nothing. So this is the latest excuse. And they're using mental health. And this is just coming out in Australia, just as Harry's arriving, claiming to be this champion of mental health. So you see the globalists, the way the globalists are using mental health. This is just one of the ways that they're doing it. So just be aware. They're also doing it to drug up children and give them SSRIs with their parents not knowing. They want to raise or lower the age for children to consent to medicines to 12, saying they're mature minors and all that. And the same with euthanasia in America. So really ugly, evil business going on here. And Prince Harry and Meghan are in the thick of it. Yeah. It's about giving op interview when PP was on deathbed. Yeah. Prince Philip was dying. Yeah. She's a monster. She is a monster. Yeah. Most people don't want to take responsibility for their actions. It's easier to blame someone else. Yeah, exactly, Miriam. I just found that interesting, the similarities of Harry to, what's his name, right? Not Ryan O'Neal, Redmond O'Neal there. They even look alike. They're the same age, and they look alike, and they're both doing the same thing. It's just wow. But at least he's going to prison. Redmond's going to prison for his crimes. We have yet to get some justice with Harry. He should be in prison. Him and everyone he's working with. And that's why he's trying to control the speech so that people don't figure out that, oh yeah, he does belong in prison for his censorship activities and his abuses in African parks that he's in charge of. The crimes against humanity there. As well as Sentabale. He was sued by... Remember, they tried to get Dr. Sophie to promote Harry and Meghan after Meghan pushed Dr. Sophie around on stage. And so Dr. Sophie sued Harry because Harry tried to turn the entire board against her. Really ugly, evil stuff going on that Prince Harry is involved with. A lot of crimes, a lot of abuses. And really disgusting and despicable. He's nothing but a criminal. And he should be in prison. We had real justice, they'd be in prison right now instead of prancing around with their biographies of lies. And I don't know, Tom Bower's going to expose some things, but it's never enough. I always feel disappointed by all these books coming out, and they don't. And I understand he has to be careful and all that, but still, it's like, come on, everybody knows everything is a lie about these two. Just expose the whole thing already. We're done with it. Anyway, that's how I feel. But how do Harry and Meghan feel about Tom Bower's book? Are they really worried? Or are they not really worried? Let's find out. This is the latest thing today. His book is being released in the UK. You can order it, but you have to go to Amazon UK. Yeah, so let's see. How are Harry and Meghan? I'm going to be using my prettier cards today. I have a lot of pretty decks, but I don't use them that often because Harry and Meghan deserve ugly decks. But I feel like using one of my pretty decks today, so... Don't let it throw you off, because I know when I use a pretty deck, people say, why are you wasting a pretty deck on Harry and Meghan? Because I have a lot of them. I don't use them enough. I gotta use them more. Just the Harry and Meghan, you always think ugly decks, They deserve ugly decks because they're ugly inside and out. But anyways, let's see here. Just popped out there. But let's take a look here. Harry and Meghan, how are they feeling about Tom Bower's new book, Betrayal, coming out? How are they feeling about that? They've already lashed out and accused him of being basically a stalker, and obsessed with them. The usual, what they try to accuse people of that expose the truth about them. Oh, you're just a stalker. You're a hater. You're just a hater. Yeah. You're just obsessed. You're a liar, right? They would love to shut him up as well as so many others as they have done. Look what they did to Dan Wooten, destroying his career as well, getting him fired from GB News. That's another words against him by the Sussex squad. So you've got, Jeremy Clarkson, I think that's his name, Piers Morgan, and Dan Wooten, all fired because of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and their Sussex squad. They just get people fired. They love getting people fired. They want to destroy them financially and otherwise. They want to destroy all of us financially. And that's how the globalists do it, because they have all the money and they want to make you suffer financially. Oh, but buy Meghan's syrupy jam. No, come on, nickel and dime the peasants. Here, pay for this. Oh, and donate to our GoFundMe. Nickel and dime the peasants. They love that. They are laughing their asses off at any money given to them or their products. They think you're so stupid. That's how I believe. Anyways, back to Harry and Meghan and Tom Bower. What's their attitude? How are they feeling about Tom Bower's betrayal book coming out? I feel like deja vu because I know I did this for his first book too. So basically, how did they feel when they found out he was coming out with a book? Were they surprised? Probably not, but what was the reaction? What are they expecting to happen with this book? I heard that they've read it already and they're not suing. So that means it's all true that's in there, because Tom Bower is very careful. Yeah, but you know they're going to be spreading more lies, trying to get around it and distract from it with, PR puff pieces. So expect major onslaught. So we're starting already with the puff pieces, revving up and out of control. So it's really overwhelming on, social media to see all this stuff, because Harry and Meghan are flooding it, trying to cover all the truth coming out. This is what they always do with their Sussex squad. Yeah. How's it going to go for Harry? Well, now that the temperature, when Tom Bower's book the first book came out, there were still a lot of people who didn't know what a scam, grifter, globalist monsters Harry and Meghan are. But now I think more people are awake to them and what they're really about. So I think that this book, the timing of this book is going to be important in how it's received and how Harry and Meghan are. They're really afraid with this one. I don't remember them coming out with a strong statement after his first book, but now that the temperature has changed and more and more people are turning against Harry and Meghan because they know how disgusting and despicable they are, I think now they are very worried, because they know this is just going to turn more people away, because Tom Bower's credentials are impeccable, and he's a lawyer and he's very careful, and everything's going to be fact-based and investigated. So I'm hopeful that this would be more to destroy another nail in their coffin, to destroy this Harry and Meghan psyop, put them out of business, in other words, destroy their reputations for good, so they can stop abusing sick children and injured veterans and be, turned away from society. Locked up is what they should be. But anyways, how's it going to go? What are they most worried about with Tom Bower's book? How do they see Tom Bower? How is he affecting them? Are they dismissing him as a pest, or are they really concerned now? What are they hoping for with this book? What are they hoping to do about it? I'm sure their Sussex squad are on notice. The Sussex squad must be harassing him endlessly. I remember it took a long time for his first book to show up on Amazon in the US, and I complained about it. I was like, where is it? I don't see it here. And finally it came on, but I think there was purposely a delay. Meghan and her people delayed the book from showing up on Amazon in the US, and I think that's why there's a delay now. I think Harry and Meghan's people are delaying it from being here, is my opinion. Because it should be coming out at the same UK and US at the same time. It should be coming out on Amazon, right? I don't know. My suspicions. That's what happened with the first one, I believe, is because it was in Canada for sale, but it wasn't in the US. And it was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. If it's on sale in Canada, it has to be here too. So yeah, it was like a big delay there. But anyways, I digress. They seem to really hate him. All right, I think I've shuffled enough. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, see what you have to say. King and Prince William founded it and funded it. Yeah, Invictus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, their biography is just full of lies. Like Harry and Meghan, everything's a lie with them. The psyop of lies. Lord and Lady of the Flies, of the lies. Let's see, that's why a fly flew on her face at the wedding. How are Harry and Meghan feeling about Tom Bower's book? Let's see what the cards show. General attitude here. Oh my. Wow, we're starting off with a bang here with the Tower card. Yeah, oh, they are very worried indeed, and they're like, oh crap. They're gearing up for their Australian tour. They're gearing up to go back to the royal family, and this comes out. And like I said, that the environment's different. The temperature is different now. More people hate Harry and Meghan. More people see what they're really about and rightfully hate them. And yeah, so this book is very disruptive to them. They're very upset about this. That's why you saw, where's that? Let me see here. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. The statement Harry and Meghan made. You know how Harry and Meghan never make statements about anything? They never respond to anything, but they did respond to this book. So that tells me they are, just from that, because it's so unusual for Harry and Meghan to acknowledge, and any when the truth comes out about them, they always ignore it, like the fake baby bumps and everything else. But they came out with this. Check this out. This is a statement Harry and Meghan made about Tom Bower's book. Spokesman for Harry and Meghan said Mr. Bower's commentary has crossed the line from criticism to fixation. Oh, put him on the fixated persons list. This is someone who has publicly stated the monarchy is in fact depends on actually obliterating the Sussexes from our state of life. Yeah, well, so does the U.S. Constitution. Needs to obliterate Harry and Meghan to survive too. I think the U.S. and the U.K. and all around the world says language that speaks for itself. He has made a career out of constructing ever more elaborate theories about people he does not know and he has never met. Well, we don't have to meet you, Meghan. We can see what a stinky wench so-ho-ho you are, and a liar, and a disgusting, horrible actress, and a disgusting, horrible pretend Princess Diana humanitarian. Okay, I'll get off that. But, they always say, like, oh, you never met us. If you met us, then you would understand. No, we don't need to meet you. We can suss you out and size you up by your actions and your lies and the way you deplatform people and the way you stick your Sussex squad against people and your fake lying Omid Scobie and your other propagandists. We don't need to meet you. We already know you're an Obama Clinton hoe. We got it. We've seen the connections, and you're an Epstein hoe with the Epstein class. So, I mean, you don't need to meet him to know what a criminal is. Have you ever met Jeffrey Epstein? No, but we know he's a sick, twisted criminal that should have been in prison. You don't need to meet you, Meghan. We know what a criminal you are. Just go to prison already where you belong. Anyways, all right, sorry, I'll stop ranting there. But the fact that they even responded to Tom Bower's book is very telling. They never do this. Right? Yeah. He does not know, has never met us. Those interested in facts will look elsewhere. No, we'll look at his book. Those seeking deranger, like you and your Sussex squad like to call everybody that disagrees with you. Oh, you're a deranger. They love that word. And I can't believe they actually used it in the statement. See, that once again, through linguistics, Harry and Meghan are reconfirming their connection with the Sussex squad by using that word. I'm telling you right now, it screams out Harry and Meghan, Sussex squad all together, deranged conspiracy and melodrama, know exactly where to find him. The once respected Times. So, of course, they also attack the Sunday Times. Like Harry loves attacking the British media, always wants to attack British media on Twitter, and he tries to pretend in his fake account there, his H account. So yeah, so they are very upset. They normally never make statements like this, so they are very worried with this particular book from Tom Bower. They are very concerned, very upset. It's going to continue to destroy them, especially with Trump in office. Oh, I got Knight of Cups. So what they're trying to do here is go on this little tour, this nicey humanitarian tour to Australia to push mental health. Yeah. And pushing their agenda, but they're trying to do it in a glamorous way where Meghan's going to go sit for a podcast with other women and talk about being a woman and empowerment. And, all the lies Meghan will come up with about how, she had miscarriage too. And, she had preeclampsia too. And, all these nonsense lies that Meghan makes up when we all know she's never been pregnant. And so she's got to continue this pushing her lies, and pushing this fake narratives that she does, her Chia Pet narratives. Redmond and Harry have the same face appearance, exactly. Angry. Isn't it eerie? I thought it was very eerie how similar they are. So anyways, somebody's probably further back in the video there. But anyways, bottom of the deck. I have, which one is this? This is the High Priestess reversed. High Priestess reversed. So this shows the psyop. This is Harry, Meghan, and the Chia Pets trying to make everybody crazy, trying to make truth fiction, fiction true, just like Orwell, and just trying to more mental abuse. While they go around claiming to promote mental health, they're actually promoting more psychological stress on people. Like I showed in that article about the workplace, work employers being fined for psychosocial abuse and nonsense. Just make up whatever. If you feel at all harassed by your boss, who hasn't been harassed by their boss? Anyone who's had a real job knows this. Harry and Meghan have no clue. They've never worked a day in their lives in a real job. But, it's so absurd. It's the same with hate speech. What? We hate your speech, so you should be shut up. I mean, hate speech is so subjective, but this is how these communists are, with their linguistic doublespeak, are bringing in their tyranny through these lies. So I mean, this is what this High Priestess is about. It's the way making everybody crazy with their doublespeak, with their lies, with their attacking people, claiming that their mental health of communists are being affected. So we need all these conservatives to be fired and deplatformed. I mean, that's what it's all about. This is how they're going around pretending to be heroes and champions, when in reality, they're just, the only thing they champion is censorship and Agenda 2030. So they're very upset, but they're not going to show it with the tower and crossed by the Knight of Cups. They're going to pretend like, oh, nothing's bothering us. Oh, we don't even know about Tom Bauer. They're not going to say anything about the book anymore, I guess, because they're going to try to come across like this glamour couple. This is what they always, Harry and Meghan always do, try to come across as, oh, he loves her and she loves him, and we're just enjoying our love, and all these people are picking on us, kind of thing, and pretend like they're actually doing something good when we know they're just evil. So the bottom of it all, and speaking of which, I have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant, of course, you can see has the royal family backing them throughout all of this, the Agenda 2030 New World Order. And you could also look at this as Harry and Meghan always wanting to be thought leaders and looked upon as these important people. They co-funded Archwell. They're so important. They're such entrepreneurs. Yeah. And, try to make themselves look like they're something they're not. Harry lecturing on mental health that he knows nothing about. And Meghan Markle lecturing on feminism when she's doing nothing but pushing communism, a la Chia Pet. Gloria Steinem is all just part of the globalist agenda to destroy women's lives and to stop women from reproducing, stop and culling the herd, using and also pushing non-women, people cosplaying women into women's safe spaces and stuff like that. That's what she's really supporting there. The attack on women is what Meghan supports. The attack on real women. They want to attack you just for saying real women, right? So that's what you've got here, because anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. So how did they feel when they first heard that Tom Bauer's book was being released? Queen of Wands. So I got the Meghan card. So Meghan was the first to be alarmed by this. She's the most concerned. She is the one who's everybody, we all, one of the stories that was released, besides the fact of the American versus Nigeria basketball team cheating by not really being disabled, is that Tom Bauer says that Camilla says that Meghan brainwashed Harry. And I do have the High Priestess reversed, which talks about brainwashing, psyops. And so Meghan was very upset and bothered by this new revelation that Camilla's saying this. And you know how that Harry and Meghan attack Camilla through the Sussex squad constantly, and Angela 11, and anyone else who tells the truth. So Meghan was very unhappy, it looks like. And she's the main reason that they, I think, released a statement, because she wants to try to defame Tom Bauer and call him fixated because she does not like that more bad news of her, being, disliked by the royal family, and how she's the one that was abusing staff there and continues to abuse to this day. And she also is recognized as brainwashing Harry, or just controlling him so much, which is evident in all of their appearances. How she's always got the claw on him, always controlling him, pushing him back. So she did not like that. Yeah, she definitely was alarmed by that. So what are they expecting with Tom Bowers' book? What are they expecting to happen? Oh my. Fool reversed. Major Arcana. Yeah, they know that this book is going to make them look like the fools that they are, with it reversed. And you see them both jumping off a cliff here, reversed. They're going to fall down. So they know. This is like Harry and Meghan here. Harry's the dog. Meghan's on the horse there. She's on her high horse all the time. She thinks she's to the manor born, right? So they're going to be knocked off their perches and be falling down into the ravine there, which they deserve. I don't know if you got a good look at the card, but they're very pretty cards, right? They're very nice paintings. But yeah, I see them crashing and burning, and they know that this book, Major Arcana, they're very worried about the reputational damage of this book is going to do, which I hope so, because their reputation's already pretty damaged, but it's going to damage it more. And especially in this climate, most people are awake to what liars they are and how dangerous they are and how they're with Chia and all that. Yeah, scammers and grifters. Exactly, Ariana. Yeah, you said, what are you saying here? MSM did MM stories all over their website. The comments are good, calling her out. Good. Yeah, Harry and Meghan want to censor that for sure. So what are they most worried about? Harry and Meghan are very upset. They got a lot of major arcanas here, which tells me, they're very upset about how this makes them look on the world stage. And of course, the team behind Harry is not Harry and Meghan are not working alone. They're with a censorship complex. They're with the royal family. I got the royal family here at the bottom. So they are concerned that this is coming out. So what are Harry and Meghan most concerned about or most worried about? Oh, King of Wands reversed. I think I can see this often as a Prince Harry card, making him look bad, even worse than before. He already looks pretty bad, but abusive with his, he's trying to be a leader in Invictus, and it shows and African Parks and Aspen Institute. I can't believe he included that. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, Harry's been a tyrant and a mass murdering, abuser in all these places. And so I was making him look really bad. And I also look at it as just the abuse in the media and social media. I got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. I see that as the married couple. So yeah, so they're most concerned about how Harry is going to look, because of course Harry and Meghan are trying to get back into the royal family. And so this book exposes things like Invictus. You know how Harry is about Invictus. That's the only thing he has left. He loses that, he has nothing, right? So that's why they're very concerned. And Tom Bower was there, and he was abused by the Sussex Squad. There's videos of it, I've shown it before. Yeah, we all know that that is a very sensitive point, especially for Harry. He clings on to that Invictus. It's all he has. It's his lifeline. So that's why they're most concerned about Prince Harry looking bad with that. So what are they hoping for? Oh, Ace of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, they're hoping to make him lose money somehow, lose sales. Maybe they'll come out with another book, maybe or something else they're going to try to distract from, but I see them trying to prevent him from making the sales, as many sales, and preventing, the way Harry and Meghan prevent something from succeeding that's against them is by making more puff pieces against them. So you can expect the puff pieces, as much as it is now and as overflowing as it is now, it's going to get even worse, right? So Harry and Meghan are going to try to prevent him from making money from this as much as they can. They'll probably try to take it down behind the scenes. They can't sue because it's all true, but there's going to be other ways they're going to try. Now, if this mental health stuff works, they can try to using the mental health angle and say, oh, it affects my mental health. Because this is where it's all leading, this globalist agenda. Like anything that affects their mental health needs to be fired, deplatformed, or destroyed. And don't think book burnings are far away. They're going to be book burnings soon, I'm sure. So how do Harry and Meghan see Tom Bower? And I get, Page of Wands. They see him as a little bitch. They do not, of course, consider him important. He's just a lawyer. He's just a writer. Who is he? He's a nothing. He's a nobody. He's a little scribe, you know. The Page is somebody who communicates in the media and publishes things. But Harry and Meghan, Tom Bower himself is not someone they're particularly threatened by, but it's his book and his research. So they really look down on him as this little peasant boy, and how dare he write this book, and how dare he, you know, the book is what worries them, right? The book is what they're most worried about, not Tom Bower himself. That they're thinking that they can defame him and slander him and make off-comp complaints with their Sussex squad and attack him and whatnot to bank him. So they look at him as another peasant, an out-of-line peasant. How dare he? So they do, look at him beneath themselves, of course, as fixated. He's a fixated person, says Meghan. So what's going to happen next? How's it going to go in the near future? Oh, 5 of Pentacles out in the cold, not looking good. This is from Harry and Meghan's perspective, how things are going to go in the near future. So things are looking mighty cold here, looking like they're out in the cold. It's going to look very bad for them. I got 5 of Pentacles. I see them not able to raise money from the peasants, not nickel and dime them, like Meghan's selling tickets to her little podcast show in Australia and charging $3,000 if you want a picture with the ugly Meghan Markle. Well, that's not going to go so well, because this book comes out and people are talking about what an anti-human, what a globalist, murderous, Bill Gates associated World Health Organization, World Homicide Organization, globalist she is. No one's going to be paying money to go have dinner with the Tedros witch. So yeah, it looks really bad as far as Harry and Meghan nickel and diming poor people in order to push their tyranny and laugh behind their backs and sell her syrupy, gook, and Harry pushing his Better Up app of stealing people's identity, or his Travelist app of giving you a carbon credit score so they can track and trace you and fine you. How dare you think of traveling while Harry takes his private jets everywhere. So anyways, not looking good for Harry and Meghan. I think this book is going to harm their financial, being able to nickel and dime poor people and try to, take more money away from them that they love doing and taking away their resources. It's not looking good. And in the long term, Magician reversed. Wow. So I see that his book, Magician Reversed, that's the PR card. That's the manifesting and creating a reality. Well, Harry and Meghan, their reality is going to be taken apart, downfall, destroyed, left impotent like Prince Harry, allegedly. Yeah. Their career is turning into a frozen todger up here. So I think it's going to look really bad for Harry and Meghan, really bad. They're going to struggle for a while, then really crash and burn from this book. It's going to be very damaging to them and their public relations and their ability to have a successful trip in Australia. I think this is overshadowing their trip, kind of like an eclipse, blotting out the sun of Meghan's, spotlight there. So it looks really good for us that this will badly affect Harry and Meghan. They expect it with the Fool reverse. They know this book is going to make fools out of them, and they are absolutely correct. And there's nothing Sunshine Sachs or the Sussex Squad can do to save them with the Magician reversed. It's very bad for them. So this book is going to really harm them. Yeah, I think they're right to be worried. I think that people can see what they're really about and who they're really with. And the fact that they just hung out with the World Homicide Organization, Bill Gates' homicide, and now they're going to Australia and this book. It's without a doubt what Harry and Meghan are really about, who they really are, the Satanists, globalists that they really are. I wasn't looking at their relationship with this one. I'm just looking at their attitude and how they're experiencing Tom Bower's new book, Betrayal, and how that's affecting them. And it is affecting them in their career and their publicity very badly. So I can tell you that. Yeah, very badly here. Good for us, bad for Harry and Meghan. Wow, especially financially with the coins. I got a lot of major arcana, so it's going to play out on the world stage, but you got coins and coins. Harry and Meghan are going to be harmed financially. Yeah. So there you have it. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you for being here. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.